at 3 flushes so far, and when we are, see all this. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're back on it, and today's my day off. I decided that we'd get back on it, and I haven't. Before I go any further, I want to try to look at this misfire in this engine. Cylinder 6 back here, when I unplugged it, there was absolutely no change in the way it was running, and it had a code for cylinder 6 misfire. When I unplugged the ignition coil, nothing changed. I could swap it with another one, but these have what's called front and rear ignition coils, I suppose, because when I called up Nissan, they said they can't put their hands on it. Hey, what's going on? Nissan said the closest one is in Wisconsin, and then the other one is in Indiana, and they couldn't have it for almost close to a week. I called all the parts stores to see if they can get me the ignition coil for this, and AutoZone was the only one that they said that they could get it in a timely manner, and it would have to come from Chicago to the Addison, Illinois AutoZone, and it will be here this afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and pull this ignition coil right now and at least swap out the plug. It says Nissan recommends iridium plugs on this motor, so I'm going to put an iridium plug back in it. I just got a basic $9 Autolite iridium plug, at least to eliminate the spark plug, and I still want to put an ignition coil in it anyway. And then once we're done with that, we're going to drop this oil that's in here right now, and I've actually got the full professional, I went and picked it up this morning, BG full-blown dynamic engine cleaner, and the rinse oil. Also, I got both of their MOA additive when you're done, and the 44K for the fuel system cleaner. And then in the box comes the instructions on exactly what they want you to do. So we'll be able to look at this. For anybody that looks at this after the video is loaded, you'll be able to see exactly what all this entails. You'll have to pause it because I'm not going to sit here and slowly rotate it beyond what I'm already doing. So 44K is the best fuel cleaner on the market. Yeah, I mean, it literally is the best stuff on the market. So I'm going to put the instructions down for now. Let's go ahead and get some tools out. I got to get workbench and everything put in the shop. I got some more bolts for the driver's side valve cover because Nissan never put the bolts back in. So I got some more bolts, and I got some cheap filters just to run these next 2 flushes, and then I'll put a good Motorcraft in. I don't really care for the Nissan filter compared to the Motorcraft one. And I'll need these out as well. And I love this Husky impact kit because it has that different type of socket. It has a 100 position ratchet. Husky's really stepping up their game, and they end up this kit is those what do you call it, the sockets that are splined and not so much like the octagon shape, or not hexagon shape or whatever. They're more of a spline type socket, so it grabs bolts that are rounded off way better than the regular sockets do. Hey, I brought my work boots and pants today too, so you guys can talk about the Jesus slippers today. We'll do, yeah, spline drive. These grab these rounded bolts so much better than a regular socket does. Well, you better make sure your neighbor's house ain't on fire, because if it's on fire, it's coming to your house. Let me get a shop light real quick. I brought my... Yeah, I like the Motorcraft filters better than the other filters. Purelator really makes a good filter for them. I'm gonna pull this out real quick. Wicks is good too. There ain't nothing wrong with Wicks. One is not better than the other. I don't care what anybody says, you know. They both make a great filter. At the end of the day, if you're changing your oil and you're changing your filter, that's all it comes down to. Napa filters are great. Wicks is good. The Fram higher end ones are good, not the base model ones. VPR Racing is good. Ford Racing is good. Any of the Denso and Molly stuff, they're all real competitive filters. Just don't buy a base filter. That's the name. The main thing is don't buy a junk cheap filter. I don't know why people keep doing that, and then they wonder why they have problems. Buy a good quality filter. Well, Wicks and Purolator aren't, you know, the top two. You can take a Molly standard filter and look at the quality from a standard filter from Molly versus Wicks and Purolator, and a Molly filters, their standard line will blow away a Wicks standard and a Purolator filter, and even the Denso filters. The Japanese filters are very, very, very superior. Japanese, I should just say the Asian type filters or whatever. Like when you get the Denzos and stuff, and the factory Toyota filters and stuff, they're great filters. They're absolutely phenomenal. But I like the Molly ones because they have like extra caging and fiberglass reinforcement and stuff inside, and the filter ends are so much beefier. It's leaves, man. This vehicle's been sitting for a year and a half, so it's gonna get all taken care of when I'm done getting the motor flushed out. Buddy dropped it off. The motor got all sludged up, and Nissan wouldn't do anything about it. They said it was his fault. But if you actually look and talk to the Nissan techs, they actually have a problem with these 5.6 liter engines. It's not uncommon to see these motors sludged up. And I just called Nissan this morning, and I asked Nissan when I talked to them, I said, do you guys have a certified Nissan heavy duty tech, an L3 certified tech for like 3500 series vehicles? And they said, no, we don't have an L3 certification in our shop. It's sad because none of the Nissan heavy duty techs will actually stay with the dealerships. Most of them move on to fleet work or commercial work. They don't even stay with the dealership. And I said, you know, I've called 3 other Nissan dealers, and they told me the same thing. They can do 1500s and 2500s, but they don't have a technician certified to do 3500s. Well, I can do it. I'll do it. So these are 14 millimeter plugs. Put this off to the side right now so I don't drop it. Go ahead and pull the old one out. That ain't gonna work. I need more extension. You know what? I'll try to see if I can use, well, I'll put the smaller extension on it. And they didn't put nothing back the way it goes. They didn't put none of the clamps back on. I wanted to, if I can get this done today, I want to go ahead and put that LSD in the town car. I got it sitting over there. Go ahead and change the oil and send the Pennzoil Platinum Ultra off to Blackstone Labs. And then, shit, I forgot, I forgot the AMSOIL at the dealership. I gotta grab the AMSOIL. The damn spark plug is stuck down there in the hole. The rubber on the gasket for the valve cover is grabbing it. Or the socket, I should say, not the spark plug. Dog it. Let me get this other extension over here. I should have put a locking extension. Come on. Come on. Ooh-wee. That has got some buildup on it. Ay caramba. Wow. The sludge is so bad it made its way past the spark plug, and the sludge is starting to build up on the plug. I've got another one going back in. It's a let me tell you what it is real quick. Sorry about my face being in front of the camera. The one that's going back in is an APP 5683 Autolite double platinum something whatever blah blah blah. Well, that son of a gun told me that's iridium. That says double platinum. We're putting it in anyway. Platinum's fine. This ain't no performance motor. You know what I thought of is if I couldn't get this motor cleaned out and running right, which is running beautiful now, I would take this motor with a VQ adapter and bolt a manual transmission up to it and put it in the Thunderbird just to freak people out. Because these motors make good power. They make real good power. But then I was like, nah, maybe like a 351 Windsor with like C6 or something bolted to it. I don't know. The Holly EFI. Holly EF. What is that? No, Easy Sniper Kit or something on it? Not EFI. You gotta put that adapter on there. Yeah, even the parts store guys were saying this morning when I was talking to them, they can't keep parts in stock because of everything that's going on. Come on now. I want the damn thing go on. No wonder why it won't go on. I didn't realize my damn socket didn't come out with it. Here we go again. That's where a locking extension would come in. And then as you're pulling it through, if you twist it, it'll actually come past the seal. It's that knurled spot right there that's getting caught. Probably should grease it up first before I do this job. Oh, I see what it means now. If it's a front or rear plug, the rear plug means it's the one all the way by the firewall. The front plug means it's the front three in front of the ones in the firewall. Yeah, it has an F right on the top of it. It's considered a front plug or a front ignition coil. So whenever you're ordering these, some of these ignition coils point this way on an angle, and then the back by the firewall points completely sideways so they can route the wires correctly. So when I was on the phone with AutoZone, they said, do you want a front ignition coil or do you want a rear ignition coil? I said, I don't know what the hell the difference is. I'm not a Nissan guy. Where? A brake fluid? No, it's just on camera. It's actually not that bad. It does need to be flushed out, but it ain't that bad. I can see some clarity here. Just the camera makes it look like that. We'll get it all sorted out. We just got to get this thing up and running safe and roadworthy. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Alright. Now, let's see, let's start it up. Yeah, NGK makes an awesome plug. Probably one of the best plugs on the market, honestly. But when I was racing, I noticed when I put the higher end plugs in my car, it didn't matter. I would just destroy them. So I went with an Autolite copper, and I would just destroy them every weekend, put new plugs in right after the weekend anyway. Let's start it up and see what it runs like. It's still shaking. I can tell it's misfiring. Yeah, that ignition coil's been misfiring too long. It ain't no good. Ordered one of the wires. Yeah, it's a little shaky. Box plugs are good too. Oh no, the tap and the rattle and all that stuff's all gone. These motor flushes that I've been doing have really been cleaning it out real good. We don't know yet. There's 1,000 questions we can say. We don't know exactly what's going on with that cylinder yet. Factory plugs are probably the best way to go for overall reliability, just because you know it was designed for that, heat range and everything else, unless you're trying to do some kind of performance stuff. A lot of the guys at the speed shops, they don't like aftermarket ignition coils, they don't like aftermarket plugs. They want the factory ignition coils on it and the factory plugs on it. The last time I had the town car out there dynoed, the guy told me, please leave the factory Motorcraft ignition coils in there and the plugs in there. We'll just change the gap. Instead of being a 52 thousandths gap, we're going to move it to about a 45 or 46. It'll actually run better that way with the 93 octane tune. So what we're going to do now is pull it in, drain the oil out of it, put another new filter in it, and then we're going to start running through that kit, that BG restoration kit, and I'll show you all how nasty the stuff is that comes out of this motor. It's the best stuff on the market. You pay for it though. Install BG 44K. Bring the engine to operating temperature, drain the oil, remove the oil filter, install new oil filter, install the correct volume of BG dynamic engine cleaner. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to pull it in, drain the oil, pull the filter off, and then we're going to put this engine cleaner in there. This stuff is nasty stuff, man. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up real quick. It's been, before you guys got on live with me, it was already running, so it's pretty warm. Let me see here. Try to bring you all down here with me. See if you can see anything. I can't get this thing to go any lower for some damn reason. Yes. Alright, so it's getting cleaner and cleaner every time I do it. You see how clean it is coming out right now. I'll show you after the BG stuff is run through it how clean it is. Probably should end the live once I put all the BG stuff in there, and then start it back up in 45 minutes, because you guys will have to be sitting here because that BG stuff has to run through the motor for 45 minutes before you can even drain it, the first series. I'm still letting this stuff drain. You still got oil coming out of it right now. Somebody said, am I running Penn's wax or whatever? I don't know what that means. If that's like sarcasm, if that's sarcasm for Pennzoil, like the stuff before that used to wax up, the paraffin oil breakdown or whatever. Yeah, but I don't understand why people call it Penn's wax anymore, man. That's something that happened 30 years ago. That's not even anything that's been relevant in the last 30 plus years. That's something that happened at one time and it was a disaster, and still people to this day like to hold on to that stuff. It's not even relevant anymore. Pennzoil has probably the best standard type oil on the market right now. Pennzoil Platinum Ultra, there's not an oil on the market other than stuff like Amsoil that even beats it. Pennzoil Platinum Ultra, I've never seen an oil that even holds up to that Ultra other than the Amsoil.
or maybe like red line or something like that. I mean, even that mobile extended performance that I ran in my town car, it still was a good oil, don't get me wrong, but the noise was a little bit more from the motor. It seems like the Pennzoil was over the last 3,000 miles, which today or tomorrow I hit 3,000 miles exactly. I think it was today I hit 3,000 miles. Um, it's been so much quieter the whole entire time. Alright, got the oil drained out of it. Now it says put a new filter on while I'm here as well. So move on up to the front of the vehicle up here. Pull this filter off of here, because it does have cleaner in it. I don't know how the engine got so sludged up. My buddy, he's a vet, and he's a pretty straight shooter. If he don't like you, he'll just tell you he don't like you. He don't care about your feelings or whatever. That's why me and him get along so damn well. And he said I kept all the receipts. I sent everything to Nissan corporate, and they would not help me at all. They just said that, he said I was in the drive-thru getting some coffee before I was heading out to one of my HVAC calls, because he does heating and air conditioning, and he said all of a sudden the motor started making some noise, and I was like, what the hell is that? It don't sound right. And he said I had it towed to the Nissan dealer immediately. I shut it off. And whenever they were looking at it, they said the motor and the top of the motor and the lower motor was so sludged up, they didn't even want to touch it. They charged them a couple hours to pull everything apart, and then said that it's not a warrantable failure. It's on him, and he's submitted all the receipts and everything for all the oil changes. Even had a Nissan oil filter on it when it went in, and it still had a Nissan oil filter on it even now, the same one. And they denied all of the claim. They didn't want to do anything. Oh, that ain't necessarily true. You don't have to keep using high mileage oil just because it swells seals. Once they're swollen, they don't just automatically shrink back. It's nice to use high mileage oil on motors because of the extra additive package, but it doesn't mean you always have to use it just because you used it a couple times. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you guys when I respond that way, but man, I just get so tired of hearing people say stuff like that. If you actually sit down and listen to the people at Valvoline and Pennzoil and stuff, and their scientific like research where there are other YouTubers and stuff questioning them, they give you all the answers right there on how the stuff's designed. And there's a lot of stuff that we say that we regurgitate from people online and social media forums, and somebody that called himself a professional so long ago that don't even apply to what's going on today, and they say a lot of stuff that's not necessarily true. Ooh, it's raining outside. Yeah, because he had that what do you call it? That stuff you guys told me, and I didn't know it was. A lot of places are lying about it. It was that what do you call it? Where the dealership gives you a package of oil changes for free, but really it's not necessarily for free. That it's actually built into your financing. You actually pay for your free oil changes, and people don't even realize that it's actually put in with the financing. There's nothing free. And he said he had all these free oil changes from the dealer, and he said this is what ended up happening. His motor ended up sludging up eventually. And I know people at our dealer, we've done that, and they actually get their oil changes. They get the good quality synthetic oil. They get the good Ford filters and stuff like that. So I don't know what the hell Nissan was doing with this, and I don't know why they would turn him away like that and say that they don't even want to help him. You know, it's kind of funny because the garage where I work at, my hobby shop here, these guys are Nissan guys. They all drive 350s, 370s. They're really nice Nissan specialists, and it's sad. And it even disturbs them hearing the fact that Nissan, kind of did what they did to this guy and didn't even want to offer help. I mean, you can get bulk oil that's spec'd out to what a dealer wants things spec'd out at. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I know people don't like the whole idea behind bulk oil, but if bulk oil is the same thing that you get out of a quart and it's spec'd out the same way, say Ford gets a hold of Warren Distributing, right? Or oil distributing or refining, how they make the product. If Ford specifies it needs to be made to this product, and you can do it in bulk, and it's the same spec as what's inside a labeled quart, it's ideally the same thing. Bulk oil is not necessarily bad, but it has to be tested from time to time. There's nothing wrong with getting bulk oil. You just have to make sure you're getting, maybe every once in a while, send a sample in. Every once in a while, grab a sample or something like that and have it sent in and make sure it's actually spec'd out the way that you... Maybe as soon as you get your oil changed at the dealer, grab one of these little... Go on Blackstone Labs. Get you 3 or 4 or 5 of these containers. You're probably going to pay about $35 to $40 and send these out. Go get your oil changed at a place that you trust and you want to know whether or not it's good quality oil, and just get one of them quick siphon tubes. You can buy them right on their website for like 20 bucks. You can even buy it on Amazon for 20 bucks and pull about a container of oil out and send it in. Have it checked. Know what you're getting. Know what you're paying for. Don't just always trust people. Actually send it out. There's nothing wrong with bulk oil, but you got to make sure that you're getting it from a reputable place. And dealerships aren't just going to get bulk oil from some, shit hole in the wall place. They're going to get it from a manufacturing place that makes oil for a lot of people that's pretty reputable. I think Warren is one of the main ones. All right, let's lower this and put the BG stuff in there now. Okay, okay, okay. So here's the process. You gotta dump the first one in there, and then you gotta top it off with regular oil. Seriously? My light's dead already? Butthead. Ooh. Now this stuff smells like ammonia. This engine rinse cleaner stuff. That stuff smells rough, like straight ammonia out of that gallon. And now what they want you to do is they want you to top it off with the rest of the engine oil. I went out and bought a bulk box of SuperTech 10,000 mile full synthetic 5W30. So that's what I'll be topping it off with. Just so you guys can see what I bought. I went out and got the big box. I'm off here, I'm off to the side, putting it in a container. Almost done. Almost done. Alright, I emptied the box out. Now it can go in the garbage. only got a little bit of this stuff left. Luckily, I'll have enough to finish the flushes, and then I'm gonna finalize everything with some Shell Rotella T6 heavy duty oil. So I got 3 quarts of oil in here right now. I gotta put 2 more in to top it off. Just a tad bit more, almost right on the money. Let me check the oil real quick. I don't know if this is a 6 or 7 quart system. I think it's like 7. All right, I'm right here. I'm just a little bit high. I'm right above the mark right here. No, I'm right on it actually. I'm right on the H where it says. I'm just right at that spot. Let's see if I can. Oil filters, yeah. Oil filter is going to take some, so we're good to go. All right, this is going to get a little noisy because there's a lot of thin cleaner in there with that oil. We're going to start it up. And it's got to run, I think it says for 45 minutes with that cleaner in there, but it's got to be at like something like 50 or 20. Let me look again. All right. It says install new oil filter, install correct volume of BG dynamic cleaner, and then top off the crankcase capacity. And it says neutral at 3,000 RPM for gasoline engines and 1,000 RPM for diesel engines for 45 minutes. Right here, 3,000 RPM for 45 minutes. Now you let me know what you guys want to do now. What do you want to do? You want me to end the live stream now, or do you guys want to sit here for 45 minutes while this thing's running? I mean, it doesn't make much sense to sit on live stream for 45 minutes while an engine runs. It's up to you on what you want to do. I mean, we can stand here and talk, or... Alright, you want to sit here? We'll sit here. I'm game. I got it at about 2,700 RPM right now. Just walk down here, kind of get away from it. Look at that beauty queen over there. We could go sit in the office. Let me open up another door just in case, just for smoke purposes. Well, I used what do they call that Rizzoline? That compression restorer. It's got like it has that metal and it's got that green oil and stuff in it, that additive that really gets in like any kind of the scoring and the crevices and stuff inside the imperfections of the cylinder wall. Remember who's our guy? The dude that does all the testing for us. I forget his name sometimes. What the heck? Remember his name? Who's the dude that does all the testing online? Project Farm. Or is it Project Farm? So Project Farm. Remember he did that testing with that stuff and he said it actually worked. The compression did come up quite a bit. And anything that he tests, since he's so fair and he's really good with testing it, I trust what he says. Just because that guy does really go out of his way. And when he tested that stuff, he said it actually worked. It worked quite a bit. Compression did come up, and so I was like, you know what? As a final, right before the BG treatment, I want to run that stuff through there. I did for 45 minutes yesterday, and then I did again today before I got on camera for about 45 minutes or something like that, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. And it seemed to really quieten things down quite a bit. So I ended up running that Rizzoline or whatever, that silver can. It's got like a stop sign thing on it. It's got blue on the top and black on the bottom. And it has all the additives and stuff in it. And when you dump that stuff in there, you can see the real fine, like little metal particles that actually fill in the different areas. I think it's metal or whatever it is. So I dumped that stuff in there too. And it seemed to quiet down the engine quite a bit. This stuff is, wait till you see this when it comes out. It's nasty. It's like cottage cheese tar when this stuff is done working. It is disgusting. Who are you talking about? Is who pregnant? I ain't never seen that name 17 forever. Well, I quit smoking. I started vaping. And when I started vaping, I actually started feeling better. I got to work Saturday. So because I got to work Saturday, I told my boss, look, we got to go out of town this weekend. I don't want to be forced into coming into work after we spent a week. Uh-oh. Let me go see what's going on. Hold on. All right, I'm back. It was the 3/8 ratchet that I used in front of the seat to push up against the pedal. It slipped. Wasn't on there anymore holding the RPM up, so I bumped it back up. I put it at 2,000 RPM though, because especially with that number 6 cylinder misfiring like that, it's probably not a good idea to do this anyway, but we won't send it. It's probably going to take out that catalytic converter eventually if we keep running it like that, because you don't want to run anything long term with it misfiring. But I told my buddy, I said, what do you want me to do? You want me to go continue cleaning the motor and we worry about a cat afterwards if that's the case, or what? He said, you got to do what you got to do, man. We got to get that motor cleaned out. So if we end up having to put a $1,000 cat on it, we got to put a $1,000 cat on it. It is what it is. What's up with the whole pregnant thing though, man? I never even seen you comment on here before. You didn't make me laugh. Shit like that gets under people's skin because if they don't know you and then you jump on, they'll boot you off the channel right away. Luckily, I don't do that stuff. Most people would have you going as soon as you said something like that, because if you don't joke around and mess with people and stuff and comment on their live streams long enough, they don't know who you are. You could just be another one of these internet trolls. Yeah, have you ever messed with an exhaust that's been sitting for a long time, getting rained on and everything else, and it hasn't been run? You know how difficult it might be to get them bolts off of there? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to talk smack about any other YouTuber on here other than Scotty Kilmer. That's it. It's not something I want to get into. It's running real good right now. It's quiet. It's real quiet right now. It's nowhere near as loud as it was either. And I don't even really want to talk trash about Scotty, to be honest with you. If you notice, I don't even talk about him no more. I don't really have any need to talk about that guy. Every once in a while somebody will bring it up and I'm like, just let him be. Let him be him. There's still some distaste in my mouth, and it accidentally slips up sometimes, but other than that, no. We went out of town this weekend. We went to Indiana, and we went out to the beach, and we had a good time and stuff like that. I wanted to enjoy my time with the family. I got some sun, so I'm not as pukey, paley white as I was before. Yeah, you can give him that. I don't have to give him that. And then today I wanted the day off because if I got to work Saturday, I want Monday off on 3-day weekend because I had to get this stuff done. I want to get the oil changed on my car. I want to see if I have enough time tonight to go ahead and put the LSD in the car. That's wishful thinking. So that's where we're at. Just trying to make the most of the week, and then Wednesday I got a doctor's appointment. Every once in a while you'll see me on camera. I start pushing on my belly. It's I got a hernia that formed about 1.5 years ago, and the VA wants me to lose all this weight before they'll even do anything. And I know what it is. They're procrastinating. They don't want to. They don't want to fix it. It's just a little small, tiny pinhole. It's been there for about 1.5 years, and I scheduled an appointment to go in and get it all taken care of. And they were supposed to go through the surgery and fix everything, and all of a sudden, mysteriously, they came out of nowhere and said, "Oh, we want you to lose 40 more pounds before we." Why didn't you tell me that in the beginning before we started all this? The VA can be just as dirty as some of these other corporations and companies out there. So anyway, I contacted a private doctor, and the private doctor said, "Come on in, we'll get you taken care of." I mean, how are you supposed to lose weight and keep getting healthier and stuff like you've been doing if you have problems with your abdominal wall? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for them to go say, okay, lose all this weight and stuff like that, go to the gym and be active and do all this stuff, but you got a damn hernia. How does that make any sense? Let's fix him, tell him to be careful, let him heal properly, and then slowly get into the gym and start being more active. Just little by little by little. You can do that successfully with being overweight and getting your hernia repaired. So that's where I'm at now. Is Wednesday I got to go in for a doctor's appointment, but then I got to come back and I'll work late to make up for the time that I wasn't at work. Just to be fair to the company. I really don't even like eating carbs, to be honest with you. I'll eat sugar or sweets or something like that. It'll make me happy for, a half hour, but then I start getting a headache. It's like carbs and sugar in general. If you look at the way your body reacts to food in general, it's kind of scary. If you just think about eating food, or you have food in front of you but you haven't even touched it yet, your body starts preparing for you to actually ingest and deal with that food. So I started reading all these PubMed studies and talking to all these doctors and stuff, and doctors will come in and have me service their vehicles and things like that. And I'm like, how does all this stuff work? And they say it's insulin secretion. You even start thinking about food or have food in front of you, your body already starts preparing you to eat that food. And carbs and sugar are so heavy when it comes to how your body deals with it. It has to shuttle all that sugar and stuff around almost immediately. People that have never had health problems typically also have a hard time dealing with sugar and carbs, eventually catch up to them later in their life. So natural sugar and carbs, they say, is a little bit better, but you can also have too much of that and you react the same way as if you're eating nothing but junk. So a lot of these fruitarians and vegans and stuff that think that their health is so healthy, when you actually see their blood work, their HDL is super high, their LDL is super high, but yet everything else in their blood works, it's perfectly fine. So there's obviously a flaw in the medical system as well, and what's healthy and what's not healthy. If you look at a runner, they're called hyper responders. If you look at a runner and triathletes and stuff like that, if you look at their blood work, they look super fit and they look super healthy. Their skin is so clean and clear and stuff like that. But then when you actually look at their blood work, it's complete trash. It is complete trash. You look at their HDL, their LDL, their triglycerides, super, super high. And they're called hyper responders. And there's a reason for that. Their body secretes and deals with cholesterol and stuff completely different than a normal healthy person, because their bodies are different. Yeah, I like the keto diet. The keto diet made me feel the best. I lost my first 100 pounds on the keto diet, and I've kept it off. I was down to 130 pounds down, but I gained 30 pounds back in the last year and a half since COVID. Yeah, that Nissan is super quiet right now. So now I'm just building up the little shop, little bit by little bit by little bit. I got to start moving some stuff around. I got to start taking all the extra tires I have for the Thunderbird and the town car, move them up to the storage area above the shop. And then I got to get a table and stuff in here on the left side. I don't know if I'm going to build it or if I'm just going to order a nice one that can be moved around, like a steel one, so I can actually work on it and stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. There has to be a plan. I don't have it quite yet. Do I have the Amsoil already? I may have the Amsoil here already, so I could probably pull the town car in. I see a white box over on the left side of the shop. I may already have it here, so I can go ahead and change the oil in the town car then and send off the oil sample. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard about the cabbage soup diet, or what do they call it, the military diet or something at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still working for Ford, just today's my day off. I gotta work Saturday, so the technicians that work on Saturdays get a choice between the week on which day they want off, and I chose Monday. 3-day weekend, baby. But you make up for it. The Saturdays are typically shit shows. Nothing comes in on Saturdays. You might get some damn warranty work or some recalls. Every once in a while you might get a brake job, but that's if you're lucky. My vape and my diet soda every once in a while is my crutch. Gotta have it. Yeah, they say diet soda is bad for you too, but what can you do? Every once in a while I'll just check. 20 minutes to do front brakes? No. If you're changing out pads and rotors, standard time is 1.5. If you're cutting the rotors, you get an extra half hour to cut the rotors together. So you get 2 hours for cutting and replacing pads. You get an hour and a half for replacing pads and replacing rotors. That's pretty standard time. Hello. My body seems to respond better to fat. I went 1 year, pretty much nothing but the carnivore diet, eating nothing but really fatty meats and as much protein and fat as I wanted. I lost, part of that was, I say the keto diet. The first 30 pounds was on the keto diet, then I stalled out for a while, and then I started on that carnivore diet, and I would get my labs tested every 6 months, and the more I went on straight meat, like fat and protein, the better my triglycerides, my HDL and my LDL started looking. The more I started losing weight, the healthier I started feeling, the more like I didn't need as much sleep. I could sleep 5 hours and it felt like I slept 10 hours. I felt great. And I kept going to the doctor, and the doctor was asking me, how are you losing weight so fast? And I said, well, I tried that Dr. Sean Baker carnivore diet, and it's been phenomenal. I feel full. I can eat as much meat and protein and fat as I want, and I feel completely fine. I don't eat any sugar. And she was looking at my lab results, and she was like, this is phenomenal. I don't understand how you're able to do this. This is unheard of. I don't know anything about the carnivore diet, but I'll start looking into it. When she started looking into it, she was a little skeptical, and then she started trying the keto diet. And she's a Puerto Rican lady, so she's about 190 pounds. She's a fairly thick lady, very attractive, and within like 4 months of her doing the keto diet, she dropped down to like 155 pounds, and she felt phenomenal. And she said, this is amazing. She was like, I've never felt this good in my life, but I could never talk to my colleagues about this because it's not an accepted medical diet. Yeah, anything like canola oil or any vegetable oils, they're not really natural oils, so they're very inflammatory. They have high omega-6, which high omega-6 counts can be very, very impactful to your health. If you have more omega-3 than 6, omega-3 can be converted into 6 and 9. So your body can do a lot with omega-3. Omega-3 is the healthy fatty oils. Omega-6 can become very inflammatory, so you'll find it in like canola oils and vegetable oils, like margarine. I can't believe it's not butter. It's all junk butter. It's not natural butter. If you actually get natural butter, it's processed butters and stuff like that. They're so much healthier for you. If you're not having any problems with your motor, I wouldn't put Rizzoline in it. If everything's running fine, I would just keep running it the way it is. Yeah, vegetable oil, if you look at the studies on it, it does oxidize very, very fast. It turns rancid or restored. whatever it is. I mean, if you're not having any problems and the Marvel mystery oil is working fine for you, I wouldn't go changing anything right now. Yeah, I like pizza too. I like deep dish Chicago pizza. It's so good. It's so freaking good. But then you add the carbs and stuff in and it gets bad. If you go to Lou Malnati's, they make a meat lover's pizza with no bread or anything at all. It's just nothing but red sauce, which is low carb, and then nothing like mushrooms and cheese, sausage crust. Lou Malnati's has an excellent all meat based pizza other than the toppings. So there's no extra sugars and carbs in it, and it is so freaking good, man. You can eat as much as you want. You're perfectly fine. Let's go in there and listen to that Nissan real quick. Y'all want to go check it out before we come back out here? Yeah, I've seen them. Morning. Let's go back in here and listen to this thing real quick. Seems to be running real well. Not overheating. Sounds good. You can hear a little bit of that misfire in the exhaust. It needs that ignition coil. I hate doing this with it, misfire. You can see the exhaust shaking. No smoke coming out of it. We'll see. We'll get the ignition coil in and then see where we go from there. I don't know. Maybe I should call AutoZone up real quick and let them know that that ignition coil that I found didn't necessarily have. Let me go in there and get my other phone real quick. I probably need to call AutoZone up real quick and let them know the ignition coil that I'm having a problem with actually has F on the top of it. So it may be the front one and I ordered the back one. Yeah, I called you earlier and I had you order a ignition coil for me. When I got in the engine just now and I pulled cylinder 6 ignition coil so I can go ahead and get ahead of the game and change the spark plug, I noticed on the top of the coil it had an F stamped on it. I think we ordered the rear, but for some reason that one has F stamped right in the top of the ignition coil. 2018 Nissan NV 3500. .6 liter.
actuate them. The price tag is $78 and that includes those taxes, but this one has to be ordered from the vendor.
And that one probably.
Not in my warehouse don't have this one.
Okay.
If that's the one that you put. I can have it on Wednesday.
Yeah, can you just go ahead and get it for me?
I will need payment, sir. I need to order it.
Oh, I thought the one this morning you ordered for me without payment.
I'm sorry?
This morning you ordered one for me without payment.
Yeah, I did just that one. I can't be doing it like that though. I'm not supposed to.
Okay, I mean I can pay you now if you can cancel the other one.
Yeah, I could. Sure you want to cancel it just in case?
Okay, yeah, you know what? Get it.
Why don't you just get both of them just to make sure?
You're right. Let me.
Especially when I'm
Yeah. Sorry guys, I had to walk away from business. I didn't want to put my number out over the internet. So they ordered one for me and didn't make me pay for it. I've done a lot of business with them before, but this time they wanted me to pay for the second one, probably because they're hard to get and they cost a lot of money. They're not just some cheap $40 coil. And Nissan said they can't even get it. They wouldn't be able to get it for a week. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to have my buddy go grab the one tonight and see if maybe that's the one. That's the Amazon rep. She asked me what was the next tool that I wanted for Ansel to try out. So I did the power probe, and that went well. A lot of you got that power probe dirt cheap, you know, more than 50% off what the power probe was, or what they call a circuit probe. And then they had me do the Ford scanner, which was the FD700. That went very, very well. That thing pretty much does everything on the Ford vehicles, and even generic stuff on other vehicles. They gave a little discount with that, but not huge. And then they asked me what I wanted next. Do I want like a dedicated handheld for like ABS, SRS type stuff, safety type stuff, that could work with pretty much any manufacturer after 96, or do I want like a little small handheld unit, like a little pocket screen where you can just get in real quick, clear codes and stuff like that. And everybody voted on a little handheld battery tester. They didn't, that was the one that won by quite a bit, was the handheld battery tester. So I told them to send me the $58 handheld battery tester. I want to compare that to the actual expensive Rotunda handheld and see how close they are, and see if it's worth even keeping, you know, at the house to test batteries and things of that nature. Yeah, it's super quiet right now. It's quieted down quite a bit. That cleaner just is amazing. So I'm like trying to figure out now, are we going to go the full 45 minutes? Because I think, how long has it been? About 20-25 minutes already? Because I think at 105 is when, so it's at 129 right now. So it's been about 25 minutes right now. Let it run. Just let it run and see what happens with it. I wonder if you can still hook the ignition coil, like if we get a rear one and it really is a front one, but just don't bolt it down. Go ahead and shove it down in the hole, but offset the alignment tab and still plug in the connector, because the connectors are the same. It's just the way tab on the front 3 cylinders, say like this is the square part of the ignition coil. The tab would be off the side here. The rear one, because of how it sits, it's off the side down here. I wonder if I can still grab that rear one tonight, because they're the same pins, and just put it down in there, but just turn it a little bit and plug it in and just verify and just have an extra one in case it goes out, because I guess these are known for going out after so many 30-40,000 miles on these. The guys here, the other Nissan guys here, they say the same thing. They go through the ignition coils on the Nissan vehicles. They're not like, yeah, it's not uncommon to have them just go out because of, I don't know if they're just not heavy duty enough. Let's see what's going on here. Are you going to remove the oil pan again or the valve cover after to show the difference? Oh yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, after all the flushing and stuff I ran through it, I'm going to pull that lower pan and then re-silicone everything, but I'll take the phone down there and stuff, and I'll show the difference between them. Did anybody actually see the time when we started? Because I remember seeing 105, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'll let him do whatever he wants, but I'm not going to do it. Somebody asked me to grow my beard out. Man, this thing's getting long. You know, it'll be, if he gets 20,000 miles out of that, he got his money's worth out of that motor. You know, it is what it is. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we could do that tonight, actually. We can pull a coil from just one of the other cylinders, the adjacent cylinders, and stick it in there and see. Once the flushes and stuff are done, I'll swap them around and see. I don't know if they did or not. I have no idea what they did. I know multiple dealerships were involved and corporate was involved, so I'm pretty sure they know about that truck. And I'm pretty sure they're watching this channel. They probably know all about that truck. Probably have already seen the plate on the vehicle to know exactly what's going on. That van's going to be well known by the time I'm done with it. people are gonna know really how deep BG gets into this stuff and cleans, and Nissan's gonna know about that van. People are already talking about it on forums and stuff like that. I've already seen multiple people screenshot and send me is that bye, Richard? Does that mean you're getting off of here? If you are, I'll see you later. It's kind of an odd way to say, all right, see you later, bud. Bad new parts? Oh yeah. Aftermarket and dealer wise. Not so much dealer as much as aftermarket for sure. It's really difficult to get anything of any kind of good quality right now. No, Richard is leaving. I don't know. Who's Rich? I don't know which one Richard is. Oh, Richard, yeah. Sorry, he said that Richard. I apologize. I forget we got another Rich on here. I thought I was the only Rich. Come on, guys. Yeah, I know. I get it now. I'm sorry. I don't like buys. I don't like when people say bye. For some reason, it almost feels like I'm walking out of your life bye. I like when people say see you later or something like that. It's just, I think it's sentimental to me because I don't like people walking out of my life, and I don't like walking out of people's lives. So I don't ever say bye. I don't say bye to anybody unless I don't like them. If I say bye to you, that probably means that either I'm not thinking or I really don't like you. That's how I am, not other people. That's just me. I like saying see you later or catch you later, bud, or something like that. Or like when I end all my videos and I say y'all be blessed, because I really mean it. I don't like bye. Yeah, you're right, Johnny. It is a military thing. We don't say bye. We're gonna need each other one day, or we're gonna be involved in each other's life somehow if we really want to. So bye to me, I don't like it. Yeah, that's same. Later, be good. Yeah, same thing. That's a southern thing too, though. My uncles and aunts from down south Louisiana and southern Arkansas say that. Be good. Catch y'all later. Be good. Later, y'all. Yeah, that's how they are. I remember the first time I had, after we came back from Iraq, I had my ACL repaired, my MCL repaired. That really screwed up my knees. And they went in, they done a bunch of surgery, they cleaned up a bunch of stuff. That's when I first started gaining on my weight, and I couldn't do anything for a long time. And we went into a diner. My buddy was driving because I couldn't drive. We went into a diner down in Leesville, Louisiana, called BJ's Diner. And there's an Australian waitress down there. She's got a heavy Australian accent. I bet she'd probably flip if she heard me talking about it all these years later on here. And every time we'd come in, she would, hello boys, I got your table over here, with her Australian accent and stuff. And I'd call her mom. She was a hot mom though, but I called her mom. And I'd say, how you doing, mom? And I'd whistle at her and stuff. And we were half drunk most of the time anyway, feeling pretty good anyhow. She'd sit us down and I'd say, I want the country boy special. Can I get an extra 1 pound meat patty with that? And they'd come out with 2 big old 1 pound meat patties and eggs and hash browns and everything else, and she'd serve us, and we'd sit there and laugh all night, cut up. And that's when I first heard terms like, be good, y'all, be good, or they say all kinds of stuff. I seen one guy walk in one time. He had a dress shirt on with a tie, but he had a leather jacket over it, and he had some socks pulled up to his damn knees, and he had flip-flops on with a pair of basketball shorts. And I said, what the hell is this? My buddy said, that's what they call down here them coon-ass Yankees, man. Them people back in the woods, man, that kind of, they out there. Don't mess with them. Leave them alone. He'd come in there and order his food and stuff like that, and I'd see him all the time. And one day I'm sitting down eating dinner with my uncle, and my uncle said, you kind of one of them coon-ass Yankees too, right? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, your mama's from Battle Creek, Michigan, and your daddy's from southern Louisiana. Your family's from Alabama, Texas, and up in Michigan. You got that coon-ass Yankee in you. You know that, right? And I said, well, I never thought about it that way. So That's what he called me, the coon-ass Yankee nephew. Where are we at now? 105? Is that 35 minutes? I think it was about 105 when I dropped that in there. I don't know, I can't go back until afterwards, but I guess we'll be pretty darn close. How did we get on this long conversation of saying bye? What kind of conversations do I start sometimes, man? I don't have a P.O. box. I just have everything sent to the dealership or my house. Mainly the dealership. I need to get a P.O. box though. But I hear they keep going up. Somebody told me they used to be like 40, 50 bucks, and then they went up to like 60 bucks, and then 75 bucks. And I heard some old man the other day when we were in the post office, he said, $105 for a P.O. box. He said, baby, what is going on here? And she said, it's crazy. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching all the videos. That does mean a lot. It really does help out. There's a lot of people out here that are really good, and they really want to help people. A lot of people think we're making fun of people when we do videos like customer states, but that's not it at all. The reason we make those videos that say customer states is because that's what the algorithm likes. I could put a video up here and say how to fix an overcharged condition, or customer overcharged their AC and this is what happens. But when you put customer states in front of your title, it pulls your videos into a completely different algorithm, because people love watching that stuff. They love the excitement and the drama behind it and the fix and everything. And you know, I have that video that they overcharged 19 ounces of refrigerant. It's still on the viral trending side, and I get messages every single day of people telling me, oh, F you shouldn't be making fun of customers and all this. I'm like, man, are y'all that sensitive to where you can't, you know, a little dry humor, you know, have a little fun. It also teaches people what not to do and what to be careful of. I mean, every day people just so angry about that one viral video that I have about customer states, and then they ended up overcharging their AC 19 ounces, and they're like, oh, if the dealership wouldn't have sold them a car that didn't work to begin with, they wouldn't have done that. So who told you the dealership sold them a car that didn't work to begin with? It don't make any sense. It makes no sense. Nobody even said that in the video, but you automatically assume that's what happened. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I appreciate it. I noticed that the likes will go up to, like, while we're live, it'll show 70 likes, and then all of a sudden it'll be down at 55, and then it'll be up at 60, and then it'll be at 62. And you know, it sucks because we'll have a lot of people on here getting a lot of information from some of my videos sometimes, or Rain Man or somebody like him, or Project Farm, and people will just sit there and watch, and they don't understand that the comments help, thumbing up the video helps, all that stuff helps, but they get so complacent and they get so comfortable. They're like, they don't actually realize they're, as a supporter, there's more things that you could be doing that don't really take that much extra effort. Every video or every commercial that you watch all the way through and you don't skip it, that's better. That looks better for the creator. Every time you leave comments and you either thumb up or thumb down or say something negative or positive, that helps the creator. And a lot of people don't understand that when you don't watch the ads all the way through, they don't make money on that, you know. And that's kind of one of the things that I always try to preach is there's pros and cons to bailing early on videos and not watching ads. And I don't expect people to go on there and watch a 30-45 second video plus. I mean, if it's a 5-second video or a 15-second video, just be kind enough to watch it. I know you don't have to do all of them that way, but it does help. Some of these videos are 3, 4, 5 minutes, an hour long before the video actually even starts, and I'm like, man, what the hell are they doing? Why would they do that to people? That doesn't make any sense for them to put a 1 hour long ad or a 3 or 4 minute ad in front of a video? Why? Why even do that? That makes no sense. People aren't going to sit there for 3 minutes, no matter how much they like somebody. That's silly. So we're at 43 minutes right now. I think it was about 105 when we started running that cleaner through there. Why don't we just go ahead and pull it now? Let's go pull it. See what it looks like. Let me turn this around. Oh yeah, she's hot. I feel the heat coming off that thing. She's hot. Luckily the coolant's not hot. Everything's good. I'll let it idle down for a second. Oh yeah, it looks rough for sure. It's been sitting outside under the trees for a year and a half or whatever, 2 years, I don't know, something like that. We'll get it taken care of though. Gotta get this motor first. Shut it off. No, it don't get hot enough. Not on these. Ooh, yeah. Look how dark that is. It's going to be nasty coming out, man. All right, let me go ahead. Ooh, hey now, don't be going across them battery terminals. We ain't trying to start on fire in here. All right, I got it on the locks. Climb up underneath it now and this is the BG engine restoration, the big kit, the big industrial box, the one that you can only get if a dealer supplies it, because BG supplies the dealers, and then there's one dealer on Amazon that he actually supplies the kits. Yeah, we'll get it cut open. Let me get rolling here with everything, and I already got a bunch of filters saved, and I actually brought the tool to cut the filters open. Where the heck's it at? Oh, right here. We'll let it cool down a little bit. try to get this up underneath there. I'm just worried it's gonna get all over the phone if I leave it right there. Maybe I'll leave it right there, because I don't want this stuff to get all over, because it's gonna come out hot and quick. Ooh, that's black. That stuff's nasty and that stuff is hot. Oh my God. It's steaming. Yeah, I'm not looking for another mommy and daddy on here, guys. And I'm not looking for anybody to tell me about using gloves. I know about that. So y'all save that for somebody else. I ain't the one. This ain't the mommy and daddy application channel. I wipe my own ass. I do what I want. Carcinogens is my friend. Motherfucker, how many times do you go eat a damn Big Mac or do some dumb shit during the day where you're eating garbage and putting it in your body? You gonna tell me about gloves? Keep that shit to yourself. Ain't nobody warning you. Running your damn yap on here, and one of these moderators will boot your ass straight off of here real quick. Tighten that shit up. Keep that off this channel. I ain't looking for that. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to have you fucking apply to be my mommy or daddy. You're gonna get me fired up, and I'm gonna say some stuff that I shouldn't be saying. Okay, let's slide it forward and pull the oil filter off of it now. Ooh, it's nasty coming out of there. Ow, shit. How's that for your damn gloves? It's burning shit out of me. I'm gonna let it drain for a little bit. A lot of stuff is still coming out of the filter housing. That stuff is nasty. It looked like chocolate syrup coming out of the filter housing. All right, let's flip this around. Next we'll go to, now we'll use that rinse oil. Let's see what it says next. Immediately drain the BG cleaner. We did. Install correct volume of BG Dynamic Engine Cleaner rinse oil to match the crankcase capacity. Allow engine to run in neutral 3,000 RPM. So you want to do it again, but this time for 20 minutes. And then when that's done, put another new filter on it and new oil. And the mola. Ooh, this shit stinks. This is like straight EPR right here. All right, now I gotta top it off with 2 quarts of oil. I'm gonna put in there 2 quarts of Rotella and start getting it ready for the good stuff. That was 1 quart. I need 1 more quart. About a half a quart more. A little bit more. All right, let me put this cap back on there. Check the oil real quick. Right on the money again. Right there at the same spot it was before. The kit to you, if you go on Amazon, you can find the kit because a dealer supplies it to Amazon, which I don't even really think that's legal because you're not really supposed to sell BG products online. You're not supposed to be able to just go online and buy them as the consumer. It doesn't work that way. But for some reason there's a dealer doing it, and I talked to one of the BG reps and he said it's technically not legal. You're only supposed to be able to sell these to shops because it has to professionally be done, because these chemicals could really actually hurt you if you're not wise or know immediately to go wash the stuff off your hands if you do get it on your hands. But you can go find this engine restoration dynamic kit on Amazon for like $330. If you go to a shop to get it done, you're going to pay about $330 for the kit ballpark, and then you're going to pay probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours for labor, because you got to sit here for 45 minutes, let it run. Then you got to change the oil, and then you got to sit here and let it run for 20 minutes. Then you got to change the oil, and then you got to put fresh oil in there with a new filter, and you're talking 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 oil filters. So 3 oil filters for sure. And then you got to drain the oil to begin with. So you're talking about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work just waiting. But not consistent work, but just waiting with that vehicle in a stall, running, taking up space, running. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours if they want to charge you for everything. All right, so let's start it up now. Sounds good. Sounds real good. Sounds 10 times better than what it did, that's for sure. Show the exhaust. I just did. I'm trying to wipe the screen off. I got oil on it. Oh, Robert, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, they're coming in here and they're tearing all this up and redoing everything. They have to redo some drains and stuff like that. So drains, and I forget what else it is. I think they got to run new gas lines or something, from what I understand. Number 6. Cylinder 6 is down. So we got 2 ignition coils coming, one front and one back, but number 6 has an F stamped on the front of it. So I'm thinking somebody else has already been chasing a problem with number 6. I'm not sure, because the 2 front cylinders don't have an F on them. The motor sounds so much better than what it did before. I can't wait to get that fresh oil, that MOA, that MOA additive, that MOA additive. And basically the way the BG guy explained it to me, MOA is an additive that you pour in there with your oil, and it coats the metal and it stops a lot of that that oxidizing and stuff, or any kind of acid buildup that may happen in the oil. If the additives don't catch it, the MOA coats the metal and it stops that acid, that acidity from affecting, pitting the metal and stuff like that, and slowly destroying it per se. And what he did was he came in with EPR and he said, hold this rag out in front of you. So I held the rag out in front of me. I was the demonstrator while all the techs, stood around in the shop. And he said, take this rag and hold it. I'm going to pour a little bit of EPR straight down the center of it, and you're going to see what this EPR does. And I'm holding it there, and he said, put a little tension on it. So I put a little tension on it, and he pours about a quarter-size drop of EPR right in the middle of the rag. And all of a sudden, the rag started just opening up. The fibers and stuff on the rag were just deteriorating. And he said, that's what that EPR does. That's why it cleans out all that junk inside the motor. And he said, now I'll demonstrate even further. Would you ever think about putting that on your hand? And I said, no, I don't want that on my hand. And he said, I'm going to put it on my hand. So he took his hand and he dumped the MOA additive in the center of his hand and coated it all over his hand. And then he took the EPR and dumped it into his hand. And that MOA created that barrier, and that EPR didn't even touch it, didn't even get through to his skin. But he said eventually that EPR, being as strong as it is, it'll get through that MOA additive. But regular MOA in an engine, in a combustion engine, will be able to withstand anything that goes on inside it. And that's why it's nice to run that stuff in your engine with your fresh, clean oil, because it really does protect the internal parts, the moving parts. So I've been using it ever since. It was sold. First I thought it was damn snake oil, until somebody showed me, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not snake oil. Scruffy, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. I'll see you later. I'll catch you on here later. Try to extend the legs on this thing and see if I can sit inside out of the rain. I hope that works a little bit better. it'll have to do. It's raining pretty bad outside. It'll pick up and it'll get real slow, and it'll pick up and it'll get real slow, and you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, you got to have somebody that can provide that stuff, or you got to get it online. One of the things that the BG guy told me, he said 35,000 miles on the Nissan, just right around 35,000. But the BG guy was telling me, he said, I don't know how that guy's getting away with selling it online, because this is an industrial product. This is not a product that's supposed to be sold to the public. So he's not sure how this guy is selling the BG products online and getting away with it. But I think it's called like Maserati something garage, as far as I understand. Yeah, Ferrari Maserati of Washington, that's it. Let me move further away from this rain. It's starting to come in the door now. Motor got super quiet. It's just getting quieter and quieter and quieter. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, money. Is it's about $330 for this kit. Obviously, I'm an employee, so I get a better price, but you cannot find this product on the market for less than like 330 bucks or whatever, ballpark. And if you know somebody, you got to know somebody to really know them to get it. Other than that, you're paying it, and I can't even sell it to you guys at that price. There's no way. If I got it, you'd have to pay full price for it. Only for my personal stuff can I get it at employee price. If I went ahead and got the business license and everything going here, BG could supply it to me, and then I could turn around and figure out what I wanted to charge people. But this is just a hobby shop for right now. I don't even call it a business, just for the simple fact that I don't do a lot of work for just random people. It's friends, family. That's pretty much it so far. People that have been around me or known me or have been talking to me for quite some time. That's how I can kind of get away with doing what I do, because it's not a full-blown working garage for me. Yeah, so Walmart doesn't sell BG products. I've never seen BG products at Walmart. And if they are selling BG products, it's because somebody's distributing it to them online, and it's a can of MOA and a can of EPR. It's not the... You're welcome, thank you as well. It's not the same stuff that I have here in this big kit, or like somebody mentioned earlier that you can get on Amazon. We're 11 minutes in right now, so we got about 9 more minutes. The motor got super quiet. Super quiet. No more smoke coming out of the exhaust. It wouldn't be a bad idea. You can run just a basic one small can of EPR on Amazon and one small can of MOA, and you'll be fine. You don't need a big giant kit for that. I mean, you can do that, but it's not really, unless like right now, like I've got a misfiring cylinder that I probably shouldn't be doing this on, but I was very clear with my buddy that I was going to continue to do it, and he was fine with it. If just a regular person or a customer came in here, it might be a good idea if you had a drop cylinder. But even at that, even if everything's running fine, there's no reason for that. You're not going to plug up the cap. I wouldn't see that being an issue. Unless the motor had severe blow-by, then you should be working on figuring out, cleaning it out and compression anyway, and the catalytic converters wouldn't matter. So we're 13 minutes in now. One of the BG reps actually reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey man, thank you for all this." People in the field didn't think that, or just people in general thought this was all hogwash, that BG products were nothing but snake oil. But he said through your videos and stuff like that, and how raw and honest you are, people are seeing that it's not just snake oil. Stuff actually does work. It really does work. It's legit the best product on the market for doing full-blown flushes. Like a lot of old school guys will say just use kerosene and diesel. It works, it does, but it doesn't work at this caliber. The first kerosene and diesel flush I did through this motor, it cleaned out some of the product, so I did a couple of them because it was more of a lighter duty cleaner. I could have ran it much longer and kept running that stuff through there, but I didn't want to have to go 45 minutes plus. The max I was going to go with the cleaner was 45 minutes, and that's why I like the BG product. But kerosene and diesel, when I dumped that motor flush in there, a couple quarts of that stuff, I could see a difference in how it was cleaning. It was actually legitimately cleaning it. But at the end of the day, it's not to the same caliber that the BG product is at all. Zero. Doesn't even come close. I can run that BG product through there, and you see like tar coming out of the motor almost. You run kerosene and diesel through there, even full strength with just a little bit of oil for some lubricity, it doesn't even come close. You have to run it, you'd probably have to do like 70% oil or 50% oil, 50% diesel kerosene, and you'd have to run it for a lot longer. I've never seen anything like this stuff. And then somebody asked me to try liquid moly. And I tried liquid moly on a boosted engine on a little cruise, and it cleaned a little bit, but it's not a heavy duty high strength cleaner. It's just not. It's for a regular flush is what it's for, and it would be a great thing to add every couple oil changes, like liquid moly. Marble mystery oil does a real good job of cleaning slowly over time. It does a great job of freeing up things that are stuck, but it's not an industrial strength cleaner. It's for something nice and slow and steady. Something to run in your oil all the time and make sure that you're never getting anything stuck again. But it's not a full-blown cleaner. What was the other thing? I'm waiting for Anthony to send me the AMSOIL flush stuff. I can't wait to see that. Everybody says, well, do the AMSOIL flush. If the other stuff is not what we think it is, then try the AMSOIL flush. So Anthony's going to send me some AMSOIL flush, and I'm going to run that through a motor, and I'm going to see how it does as well. Where are we at right now? 8. So 16 minutes in, we got 3 more minutes before we hit that 20-minute mark with this cleaner. Then we'll drop it, and then put the MOA in there, and 5.5 to 5 3/4 quarts of Rotella T6. I told him I want him to start running that Rotella through that motor. That stuff is some good stuff. More additive package. It's more for severe duty temperatures and stuff like that. And with that being a 3500 work van, and him working it, going from job site to job site, and it's not a family van anymore. He needs to run some heavier duty oil in there that has a better additive package that can really withstand the temperatures and keep that motor clean. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes and we'll pull it. Sounds real good right now. Was a little bit louder when we first started, but now it's not so loud. And then when we're done and we get all the good oil and stuff in there, I'll shut it down. I'll let it run for probably 5-10 minutes with the good oil in there, and then we'll shut it down and I'll cut those filters open right here on the bench. And we'll see what they look like inside. I even have the one that was originally taken off of it still in the pan, so we'll be able to see that one as well. I could go ahead and pull the pan today and look inside it just to see what we look like. But it'll take a little bit longer. I may have to shut the phone down, let it charge for a little bit. Let me see where I'm at right now. Yeah, I'll have to shut the phone down because it's at 37% right now. Put it on the charger for a little bit, and then we'll come back here in a couple hours. I'll get the pan off of that before I put the good oil in there, and we'll look up in the bottom of that pan and see what's going on the bottom of the block where it was all caked. There was just shit all over the place in the bottom of that pan. And then I had to clean it out the first time, but up on the sides of the block where it went up, there was a lot of stuff in there as well. And we'll see, we'll get a good idea on exactly what it looks like inside that. "45 seconds. We'll start heading over there right now. I'm going to shut it down now. Go ahead and get my light and bring it over here. Go ahead and pull the dipstick. Oh yeah, that's that's clean compared to what it was before. Tell you, man, that BG's no joke. That's clean oil now. Every one of these shops, every one of these pro shops need to have this stuff. You know how many motors I've already saved with this stuff? Where people, oh, you got to buy a $4,000 motor, a $5,000, $6,000 motor. I run this stuff through there and I don't see them. A year later, they're still coming in for oil changes. Nothing wrong with the vehicle. Ooh, that's stinky. Man, look, smell the bottom of that cap. It is stinking. Smells like straight paint thinner almost. I'll put this light up underneath the vehicle now. Put you guys down here so I can flip it around once I get down here. Motorcraft filter. Hey, we're
Hey, we got another Nissan number over here. Hi, how are you?
what's going on, man?
I'm supposed to be at 2:30. Just waiting for Ann and I guess.
Okay. I'll try to pull the pan while I'm down here.
Got everything. The only modifications he wants that we have to do is the transfer. Yeah, I'll switch with this guy. About that one? Yeah. You like that? I like that.
Oh, it's dirty. It's dirty and it's hot. It's way cleaner than what it was, though. I'm gonna start pulling off these bolts for this pan. Hey, what's up, man?
Really, I drive a little soup up there. I will warm my boots. You guys don't pay anything. I was like, I got all these extra parts for you. You want to get that?
I'm just gonna pull the pan real quick to do an inspection. Fucking hot, man. Woo, she's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Now, It's like no frickin' room. I can't get in here. Gotta get a fucking hammer. They like being out here. I'm gonna knock it off real quick and then I'll come out and hang out with you. Fuck. All right, you prick. There's a frickin' tab right on the side that you can knock. That fucking thing, there's no room. So there's no room to do shit. Fucking hell. Little midgets under here. Uh-oh, I think it's starting to come. There we go, it's starting to come. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Man, there's some good shit. There it goes. Look at all that stuff that's been getting off. At least the pickup wasn't all clogged up. Oh my God, look at all the stuff that's cleaned out of there. Holy shit. Holy hell. If y'all ain't believers, you better be believers now. Let me try to get this phone over here without getting it all nasty. Let me flip this around. Holy hell. It's still got some stuff in there. Yeah, well, it's because I dropped it. All of the bottom of that motor was completely plugged with black. You couldn't even see metal in this motor at all. Zero. So it definitely needs some more cleaning. But it's enough to come back in every 1,000 miles. Just keep running EPR through it. Just EPR, 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 or another $300 kit. But right now, the way it is, you couldn't see anything inside this motor. This motor was completely trashed. The sludge was so bad in this motor that you couldn't even see where the metal began and started. That's some good shit right there, man. That is some good shit. I'm going to pull this plate down and I'm going to spray everything inside the bottom of this that I could possibly spray to get all the rest of that stuff out of there. I don't see nothing. I see no metal in here. I see nothing in here that could cause any kind of serious problem. Just sludge. There was no metal, no nothing in here. Let's cut these filters open and see.
None of the audio's going through.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. Let me get myself together here. I'm a little. Let me get myself together here, clean up, kind of get situated, get the filters and stuff out of there, and then get some pigment and stuff up under there. Let me see. Where are we at phone wise? 26%. We got a little bit more.
I definitely kind of like.
Man, that damn pan is hot. Well, there's a problem right there. That ain't no good. What the hell did that come off of? That may be the end of this motor's life. What is that? I have no idea what the hell that is. And that came off of something inside that motor. Alright, one of my Nissan guys, where you at? Oh yeah, I had it apart already. Alright, Mr. Nissan, what is this? This was in the oil pan this time.
What the fuck is this? What is that?
Is it part of the valve train?
Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
Oh,
Tell him I say hi.
I'll let you know whenever an update about this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That ain't no good.
Yeah, it's not. That ain't no liquid. It shouldn't be there.
Yeah, and I already took the pan and cleaned it once. And then I ran that nasty shit through there, and then this is right in the pan. Where are my Nissan guys? Oh no. Oh no. That's no good. Well, I guess we're gonna have to No, because I already had this pan off and I already cleaned it once and that was not in the pan. But it's running so good. Should we say screw it, put it all back together and send it? Oh God, this is not good. Yeah. I was thinking it's something to do with the oil pump. It's not threaded. Doesn't look like it actually broke off of anything. It looks like it came out of something. Hmm. I'm gonna have to try to figure this one out. I would think it's something like that. That's what I would think. It's some kind of plunger. It goes inside the oil pump or something somehow.
No, I just took the valve. It's like the valve guide. Yeah, but if you scroll through the images, it looks like a valve guide coming out.
Maybe I'd run by Nissan real quick and take a trip out to Nissan and show them what this looks like. Ask them what it is. Oh no. Oil pressure regulator. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out what this is. That'd be the next step. Let me get this phone charged up a little bit, and get ready to cut these filters open here a little bit later. Let the filters cool down a little bit more. It's a little worrisome right there. So maybe jump in a car and go by the Nissan dealer and go ask one of the techs what the hell that is. What the hell? I could do some digging around inside there. We'll go find out what this is first. You all okay with coming back and doing the filters later? I don't think it's, I think it has something to do with the oil pump. I think it's something to do with the oil pump is what I think it is. We'll find out though. We'll definitely find out. Let's jump on here later. Let me get this phone on the charger for a little bit. And then we'll come back and cut the oil filters open when I come back. I need to figure out what this is. I don't want to go any further until I figure it out. Let's jump on here in a little bit, guys. I'm gonna come back and we'll reconvene, but we need to figure out what this is first. We can't go any further until we know what the hell it is, right? So let's do that. We'll be back. Y'all be blessed.